welcome to another episode of Breaking the 20%. I am Elena, CTO of Cocoon Creation, software engineer and geek.
And I am Maria Steliano, a consultant. I help tech teams grow and scale. Hi, Elena.
Hi, Maria. So we're here. It's Thursday morning.
Whoop, whoop.
And we feel happy.
It's very summery. I want to go to the beach.
Yes. Hopefully now the summer is coming and it will stay.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes. Today we will take it's not a story, but we'll go back to the 60s and the 70s. And I will show you that maybe sexism today is not that bad. Because if you see what we have from the 60s and the 70s, we are okay.
Oh, the degrees of sexism today is not that bad. Okay. I believe that. Yes, game on.
So let me explain what is going on. So in October 1957, the first issue of Datamation magazine was published. So it was America's first computer magazine focusing on America's emerging but dynamic technology industry.
Which year?
57.
Okay.
Basically, the magazine's founder, Donald Prell, was a computer salesman.
For a moment, you said Donald, and I got worried.
Say Trump? No. He looked around for a place to advertise his products, and he couldn't find anything. So he bought a failing engineering magazine, renamed it to Datamation, and it's basically data and automation. Data and automation. And Datamation. And he created this magazine, and the magazine ceased print in 1998 and now exists in web version only.
Still exists?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody is really visiting it.
Yeah, okay.
But it still exists.
The longest standing IT magazine of the world.
Yes.
Wow.
Over the decades, Datamation has covered the transition from mainframes to client-server model, personal computers, mobile phones, and now they talk a lot about AI and, whatever it's...
Like every other website and human being on Earth.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And the hard copies of Datamation are held at the Library of Congress as a way to preserve the early history of computing in America.
Mm-hmm.
While I was investigating a different episode for the podcast, I came across a paper by a PhD student at the University of Minnesota named William Vogel.
All right.
The title of the article is Shifting Attitudes, Women in Computing, 1965-1985. And I mean, the article doesn't say anything that we don't know, but because it's an academic paper, it has references. So almost all of these references were from Datamation issues. And because it had the references, I could go back, find the exact issue, the exact page, and find the actual thing that he was referencing.
Wow.
So thank you, William.
Anna, I have to ask, did you manually go and search for every resource from the references and found the issue, or did you ask ChatGPT?
There is a website with all the PDFs, so it was easier just to, select the issue and then go to that page.
Okay.
I didn't need...
Fair. Because ChatGPT now, for me, it's my second hand or third hand. Or, I don't know.
That doesn't sound right. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could do the same thing with ChatGPT, but I didn't need to.
You close the laptop.
Yes, we don't need it because I have here everything from the magazine.
Oh, my days.
And we will read it and we will comment.
Perfect.
So
I love this. It's different.
Yes. So we start in 1961.
Okay.
So this is a satire, basically, and it says the in and out of computing from 1961.
It's a satire.
No, the magazine is not satire. It's a professional publication. But they have ads. They have these editors that write about the industry, what's going on. And sometimes they have these fun articles.
Okay.
So this is supposed to be satire. Mm-hmm. And it's the in and out of computing, 1961. And I will read you a few. IBM has always been and always be out.
IBM?
Yes, I mean, they were hated even in 1961 for some reason.
Poor, bless them. But they're doing great.
Yeah,
I mean, they still exist and they're doing their
No, it's a good company, but somehow
having revenue and everything.
it doesn't matter if it's 2025 or 1961. People don't like them.
I mean, that says a lot. You don't need to be the most likable person or company. You can also be the most hated one. And that gives you enough traction to stay around.
I guess they were a big corporation even then. That's why.
Yeah, wow.
Another one is couple committees are unbelievably out.
Couple.
Yes.
I mean, it just came out, no? It was already out.
It was 5-6 year old. Yes, the language at that point. Oh, I mean, maybe
So
even less.
What was in then? If couple was out when it came out,
Jack Kennedy is now in.
Jack Kennedy.
Yes, JFK.
Oh,
It was before he was assassinated.
Jesus.
And
Not for long. That's a bad joke.
yeah. Most compiler are in.
Most compilers.
Yes, are in. Okay.
At least was it Ada who created the first compiler?
No, Grace Hopper.
Grace Hopper.
Yes.
At least Gracie was in.
Yes, it was in. This was when she was still working. I will read you my favorite one. Women programmers who don't wear lipstick are out.
How dare you?
Yeah, this is the yellow one.
Says and I wears lipstick. I do wear lipstick today.
Me too. So we are out.
No, it's who don't wear lipstick are out.
So we are in.
We're in because
Yes.
you see. This okay. So it started from 1961 for men to tell women to wear lipstick
If they want-
and probably smile if they want to be in.
Yes.
Great.
So, and then this is the first one, and then 1962. So this is an article that basically tells a fictional story of a company that buys their first computer, and they want to hire a programmer to program the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So, and here it's describing a candidate, a woman candidate. This is a time that most programmers are still women. So this is the fictional candidate that goes to interview for this job.
Oh God, I'm already biased.
The second candidate to arrive is female. Miss Sally Ann Bunch from East Passaic, New Jersey. Sally Ann has had a lot of computer-related experience. 2 years in the keypunch pool of the Unforgivable Assurance Association of North America, New York, and 7 months in charge of tabboardware storage with Automobile Catastrophe Statistical Society, Orange.
Orange.
Orange is a place.
Okay.
Also, she's a graduate of Princeton, South Princeton Philosophic Junior College with a major in Oriental basketry.
In what?
Oriental basketry.
Basketry?
Like
Is
making,
that basket?
I don't know.
Creating.
Baskets, I think that's what they are. They are
Not playing basket.
I guess so. Sally Ann wears flat shoes, and she's a little
What?
wears flat shoes,
And that has to be commented on the article?
and she's a little cross-eyed.
What does that mean?
Cross-eyed is when your eyes don't look directly at the person.
So you need to have a problem with your...
She has an issue with her eyes.
So she can wear glasses and seem more nerdy.
Yeah. Her figure resembles a full potato sack.
So she has some extra kilos as
Yes,
well?
she's fat. Her dress and makeup indicate that she's a solid, plain-thinking person with no frills at all.
With no frills?
Frills. Like she doesn't have any interest. She's not interested.
She just did something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I usually do in the morning. I'm like...
Miss Bunch is the spitting image of a lady programmer.
My days.
A magnificent offer is made to Sally Ann, and she goes home to ask her mother about it. So she's kind of stupid. She didn't study anything interesting. She's ugly.
She doesn't know how to
And she doesn't
put makeup on.
and she doesn't have an opinion, so she needs to ask her mother if she is going to take the job.
Yeah, because alone she cannot decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the days that women are are programmers. Most of programmers are women, and this is how they view them.
So this is 1962.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, shocking.
You are speechless.
Yes, because if the majority are women, surely they had a diverse imagery, diverse diverse women doing the job. How can you create this profile? In a similar way that we then created the profile of the nerd programmer guy who's also has an eye problems, and he doesn't know how to take care of himself. Like, yeah. So did it start from women portraying that image, and then it got translated to men?
No, I think it's a matter of respect. So even though women could do their job and they were doing their job, they didn't respect them because they didn't still understand that this is a valuable thing. It's like the valuable thing is a computer, the engineers, the main engineers, the electrical engineers that build the computer, and programming is just something that somebody has to do.
Okay. Wow. All right.
So
I don't know what to expect next, Elena.
The next one is not from the paper, but it's a Greek one from Greece, 1962. And it's an advertisement for a terminal that connects to a mainframe computer. And it says that it's so easy to be used that even an untrained female employee can use it.
Wow. It's so easy to use. Even a lady who has no training background can use it.
Yes.
But a man who's untrained, can't he?
No, the man is not going to be a typist.
Solomos, that's the name of the company.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, it makes sense because it is in 1962 when women were secretary, right? Yeah. So it's referring to the women secretaries that can use it with so much ease. Wow.
So this one is from 1963 and it's written by a woman, Valerie Rockmile. And it's talking about the women programmer. Okay. Mm-hmm. And basically it's more or less saying that people hire women. They have found women are less aggressive and more content to remain in one position. Many women choose not to advance in position and feel that even if they were offered a promotion to a supervisory capacity, they will refuse the job because it is not important for them to have higher salaries and the prestige of an impressive title. Many women prefer less strain and would rather not stand off from their fellow workers.
Is this...
Others feel that the promotion is a threat to their femininity.
The promotion is a threat to their femininity.
Yes.
You can only see it as a threat because already the promoted roles are full of men. So you're like, oh, if I get promoted in a level where it's full of men, that's gonna reduce my femininity. I'm gonna get something from them. I'm gonna get masculinity and I don't want it.
I mean, and this is the writer is a woman.
So did she write up her observations from interviewing women in these positions? How did she?
A subjective reflection. That's the subtitle.
A subjective reflection.
And later on, in the same article, she says that it is generally felt that the most undesirable category of programmers is in the female about 21 years old and unmarried. One supervisor claimed that he had a girl in this category who wrote back free programs early in the week, but during the later part of the week, her error rate increased substantially. In the course of an interview, she stated that when she would start thinking about the social commitments for the weekend, her work suffered proportionally.
Okay, so the women cannot focus on work because they're thinking what they're going to do on the weekend.
Yes. You don't even comment. You are just
I'm like, is this a joke? And it's more surprising that it's written from a woman as well.
Which I guess she was a programmer as well.
So probably this is reflecting a lot on herself. Like, I mean, she says subjective reflection. She's looking at herself. I don't know if she asked other women as well, but okay.
Yeah.
This is shocking.
I will add a link in the episode description with these articles, the PDFs, so that you can see them or read them.
Yes, everything we're looking at right now, you're going to be able to see it later.
And then we go to 1967, and this is a series of ads. I have like 1, 2, 3 here. I will give it to you so that you can describe what you are seeing. But they are all, I Googled this, and there are, I think, 30 of those. I just have 3 examples here. And it's from a company called Recognition Equipment that they do like an OCR software. It's a kind of software that can read, text from a paper.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
So this is their ads, and I'm not even going to read it. I will give it to you, and you will comment what you see.
All right. First one, I see a woman. Is she pregnant?
Yes, she's pregnant.
Okay. So I see a woman. She's very proper, like her skirt until her knees and wearing high heel shoes. Her hair are tucked in and like she looks like Barbie, really. She's blonde. But she does have a cheeky view on her face. So here it says, our optical reader can do anything your keypunch operators do.
And read the text below.
So she's a keypunch operator. That's the...
Yes. No,
oh my God.
No, read the next part.
Then it says, well, almost. It can't take maternity leave or suffer from morning sickness or complain of being tired all the time, but it can read and gobble data at the rate of 2,400 typewritten characters a second and compute while it reads and reduce errors from a keypunch operator's 1 in 1,000 to an efficient 1 in 100,000. So, oh my God, this is so offensive. They are advertising an optical reader, a machine
to replace a woman.
To replace a woman, and the way they compare them is by listing all the inconveniences employers face with women at
that
work.
Are pregnant.
Yeah, like pregnant and morning sickness.
It gets worse. I will show you the next one, which is the same theme.
So the next one, again, a woman standing. She's more daring than the previous one. She seems like she has confidence. Like a very nice dress, high heels, all that. So here it says, our optical reader can do anything your keypunch operators do. Well, almost. So that's the same as before. But now it says, it can't get mad and make silly mistakes or pout for days or cry, but it can read and gobble data at the rate of 200,000 typewritten, blah, blah, blah.
Text.
It can't get mad and make silly mistakes or
because only women get mad and make silly mistakes.
So this image of women being emotional, getting mad or crying was from 1967.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, next one. Again, I see a woman, very chic. Oh, I love her dress. Again, the same, our optical reader can do anything your keypunch operators do. Well, almost. It can come back late from a noon-hour shopping spree loaded down with goodies. Or take time to show the girls its bargains. Or to try them on, but it can't read. Oh, dear.
And a marketeer, somebody was paid and thought this was a good idea. And I gave you 3, but if you Google this ad, you will find, I think I found like 20 or even more example of exactly this style. A woman, this tagline, and then, underneath saying, that the women are emotional or crying or whatever.
From a marketing point of view, this is brilliant, by the way, because the advertisements are targeted to the decision makers who are going to pay, who are men.
Old men.
And old men view women this way. Now we're talking about 1967. I do believe things are better now. But in 1967, that's how they viewed women. So yeah, if I'm offering a product that can replace women, so you don't need to stand them crying or getting mad or being late at noon or spending time doing other shit, like get our machine. Like, of course it will appeal to men.
I think The only difference with today is that even if they think like that, they are afraid to say it.
Yeah, and I do think they're not thinking like that. Many of them. Like
I think a lot of, older men that are, decision making cares, they still think like that. But they won't say it out loud. In 1967, they didn't care. They thought this is smart.
wow.
This is funny.
Yeah.
And this is from the same company. And because you said about replacing women, it says, what has 16 legs, 8 wobbly tongues, and costs you at least $40,000 a year? 8 key punch operators that one Digitech 70 will replace, and then some.
Wow. Oh my God.
It's the same company.
So the same company, it shows pictures of women legs and women's mouth. Oh, wow. So what has 16 legs, 8 waggly tongues, and costs you at least $40,000 a year? So in a way, it tells you you can replace.
You can fire
eight people, eight women with their machines. Okay. Does this company exist?
I don't think so. I didn't check it. Yes, turn around.
The Deadly Female. That's the title of this advert that I'm seeing right now.
This ad, I don't even understand what they're trying. I mean, with the previous one, with the pregnant woman and everything, I could understand what they are trying to sell. What you are looking at it now, I don't even understand what they are trying to sell and why they made this ad. Basically, it's a woman. It's a woman's hand on a magnetic tape. And basically, it's implying that a woman destroys the magnetic tapes
with her fingernails. Okay. You have to listen to this advert. So it's ridiculous. For a laugh, this is great. The Deadly Female. A male operator's fingers run carelessly over the surface of computer tape can mar it. But the female of the species is far deadlier.
I mean, why?
Scratches caused by her fingernails can result in dropouts. Moral, keep your fingers off the tape.
What's the point of this ad? I don't even know.
Yeah, what's advertising? I found it very funny. So probably they do try to be funny because they're selling magnetic tapes, but they tell you, I think this is a disclaimer. If you buy magnetic tapes from us, you need to know that if your women touch it, they will probably destroy it with their fingernails.
Maybe you are right.
So
I didn't forget about it like that.
Keep them away from our tapes. So I think this is the key message.
I was looking at this. I was like, why? What's the point of this?
It must be funny and provocative. Using all the sexist mindsets that existed at that time. I think it's brilliant.
So I have something different now.
By the way, this one right nowadays would have get cancelled.
All of this.
Like all of it will get cancelled. Like you cannot exist.
So 1968, okay? So this one, I knew about this because I read about this thing, Susie Meyer. I read about Susie Meyer in books, but I have never seen this because this is a recruitment ad, okay? It's an IBM recruitment ad and it ran for years, okay? So when I found it, I was very excited. This is the one that the books, I read about. Mm-hmm. So it's Susie Meyer meets PL1. PL1 is a programming language that IBM had created back then. So there is this girl and she looks, she has eyeglasses. She looks very smart, very, what's the word? Like she looks book smart.
All right.
And on the other side, it's her again. It's 2 pages looking very happy and wearing a mini skirt. Okay. And basically what it says is that the story of a single language answers a question. Can a young girl with no previous programming experience find happiness handling both commercial and scientific application without resorting to an assembler language? And it says that that's the reason for PL1, the high-level language for both scientific and commercial application. With PL1, programmers don't have to learn other high-level languages. They can concentrate more on the job, less on the language. So
All right.
basically, what it's saying is a bright future for Susie. PL1 has growth built in. As your system grows, PL1 will grow right along with it. Continue growth. So basically, it's promoting the language, okay?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
on the surface, it doesn't look bad. It's just saying that there is the new language, it's high level, it's easy to learn.
And it shows a woman who was the women who were doing the job back then.
Yeah, but then if you start thinking about it, why is this girl like so... Why does it have to be like this girl that's very happy and with the mini skirts? Is sort of implying that she's stupid, but with this language, she can't still do the job.
I think the message, from what I understand, is that she will be happier because she will only deal with the language and not with the assembly and all of that.
With an easier language.
Yeah, yeah. Which is what they're selling. IBM is selling a programming language that is easier than what they're using at that moment.
Yes.
From everything we saw so far, this is the best. I mean, this is this one would go off my radar.
Yeah, and it's a recruitment ad, so it can't really insult women directly.
No, they cannot. It's a recruitment ad.
Yes.
To bring more women.
Yeah, if you see on here there is a little box.
I will keep this in the good ones, to be honest.
So you can write here your details and send it.
And I will apply. I will apply.
Like, I don't know, 60 years later.
Imagine if I said. Okay, this advert, which is a recruitment advert, there is a small piece of paper here that you can cut and submit your application that you are interested for the job.
Imagine.
Elena, I think we should apply.
Send it to IBM here in Cyprus.
Yes.
And see what they will do.
Yes. Oh my God.
They will be very confused, I think.
Let's do it. And we can then invite them for an interview.
The general manager of IBM here in Cyprus is a woman.
Perfect.
So maybe she will find it funny.
Okay. Game on. Stay in tune. This is going to happen.
To stay in theme, we are now in the 70s, 1917, and I will give this to you.
Ooh, femme fatale.
Yes.
I see lips. They are glossy. And I see teeth as well. One tooth. Because it has to be sexy. It's a sexy photo. Like,
I mean, it's black and white.
Yeah.
But I think these are red lips, probably.
And here it says, we taught our data entry system to speak a new language. Dumb blonde. What the actual fuck? Dumb blonde? If a girl can type, she can enter data on our system. If she can read, she can verify it on the display. To her, it's a typewriter and a nifty little TV screen. She can be the dumbest blonde you can find. Oh my God, this is actually written. She can be the dumbest blonde you can find. To you, it's a CRT to disk data entry validate verify system with MAC tape output. We call it Entrex 480. It's the fastest system going, built around its own computer and disk, blah, blah, blah. Dumb blonde?
Look,
I'm not blonde and I'm offended.
These lips, by the way, they look kind of a bit of open, like sexy. Like,
yeah.
The kind of thing you will see, I don't know, in Playboy.
Yes, exactly. You're going to see on TV and not in all channels.
And this is, by the way, I want to remind you that this is a professional publication that goes to businesses. It's not like something you pick up from the kiosk.
Okay.
It's like, not to in business here in Cyprus, which is a professional publication that goes to professionals.
I'm going to give them something. I'm going to give them this. It's very boring to read boring, plain text articles.
Yes.
They have provoked and they have managed to make me feel things, even if what I'm feeling is anger and like a desire to punch them. even with this desire, like I will give them this. They have managed to make me feel something, which is the whole purpose of advertising, of writing articles, is to make people move, make their feelings move. And this has made me move.
Although the purpose is for a mom to find this clever and they made you mad.
I don't think it's for women.
No, it's not for women.
It's again for men.
Because by the 70s, more men were programmers than women now.
Yeah.
So we're in the era that women are already living.
Yeah, this is still selling to the men employers. So
yeah,
it's a great joke for men, actually.
So this one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like 6 pages long.
Guys, you realize we're having so much fun here. Like this is a very interesting episode.
1975. Okay.
1975.
So this is an article, an opinion. They had this section where you could send an article, like a long article, to tell your opinion about something. Okay. And this is an article that the guy wrote, that his name is Robert Patrick, and he's a consultant. You don't like consultants?
I'm a consultant. All right.
But the point is that this guy sent this 6 pages long thing to tell his opinion. And the title is, "You've Come a Long Way, Baby."
Oh, dear. Condescending. It sounds like it's going to be.
So he starts off saying that there is a lot of literature about women's rights. And he has a lot of experience because he has been a consultant for 12 years. So now, because
good
of
on
that,
him,
he's going to tell us his opinion about women's.
Was he consulting on this area?
He was a consultant in, I guess, consulting companies about how to build computer systems. I don't know. So that's how he starts. And then he says that in the last 10 years, we've lived through several movements, all aimed at improving the status of women. They've burned their bras.
Okay. Maybe they did. Was there an event back then?
Basically, I think there was this idea that women were burning their bras in the 60s and the 70s. And it sort of happened one time in one protest, but it got blown out of proportion that women are, burning.
Okay, and it's referring that one. Okay,
yes,
good.
Raise their consciousness, organized for the common good, whatever that is, and generally made a lot of noise. Most managements I've seen treat a lot of this with benign neglect. The most significant movement in the last 10 years has been the slow pursuit of legal equality. The federal laws passed in 1964 and took 6 years before anybody noticed them. But the last 2 or 3 years have been some real changes. Job descriptions are being rewritten to remove any residual bias. Employment ads indicate that equal opportunities are available, and in fact, in many cases, equal opportunities does exist. However, now the opportunities are available. We are suffering from a paucity of qualified female candidates.
We are suffering from a positive bias towards female candidates? Is that what it says?
A paucity, I guess, a pause.
Can I see the word?
Yes, this one.
What does that even mean? However, now that the opportunities are available, we are suffering from a paucity of qualified female candidates. So we have loads?
No, he's saying that women made all this noise that they want equal opportunities. And now that we have equal opportunities, there are no qualified women for the jobs.
I'm Googling the word because now I'm very curious what it means. Oh, that's what you said. Sorry, Elena. Yeah, they're so rare, very few.
So basically he's saying you are making a lot of noise, you are burning your bras, you want equal opportunities, and now we give you the opportunity.
And you disappeared.
And you are not there, you don't exist.
Interesting. Okay, it's a good observation. So it happened from 67 when they wanted all of those things. We're now in 89. 75. We're in 75, like 6 years later, or 10 years later, and women disappeared.
No, he's saying that, you said you are qualified, you wanted these jobs, but you are not.
No, it didn't say that. It said that they disappeared. They're few. It says that they're few.
But it doesn't say there are no female candidates. It says there are no qualified female candidates. There is a difference. He doesn't say.
Yes, there are few qualified female candidates. We don't know yet why. I guess that's why he starts the article that way. I expect that he's going to explain that later on.
He goes on to give us an example of, what's going on here. So here it says that when the women are working as individual programmers, they are paid equally with their male counterparts and are expected to produce results of equal quantity and quality. And here comes the rub. There are significant number of these women who don't seem to take their work as seriously as do their male counterparts.
Judgment. I want facts.
Some of them are distracted during the day by having the consciousness raised, their dance lesson schedule, or their heads shrunk.
What?
Their head shrunk. I don't even know what it means.
Is this a fact that I ask for?
Now I must hasten to admit the boys talk about motorcycles or skiing, cars or girls, but when the time comes to get serious about the job and the career, they do get serious. It doesn't look as though the girls are keeping up. This may be a result of training or upbringing. So he's saying that, you have the same job, you get the same salary, but you are not serious about it, and the men are serious about it.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm sure he also means when the guys are getting serious, they have asked their female counterparts to go and make coffee for them or take notes or prepare the room, but that's not being productive. No, that's being distracted. Just saying.
Is this enough fact for you? Enough facts for you to justify?
They're not facts. They are his own observations. I haven't heard anything factual so far.
So he has a story later on.
Yeah.
So another friend of mine who works for a Californian-based government contractor is not so successful. She had the education, but not the seasoning. She had held a staff position for several years and had apparently been successful. She was in the forefront of several women's and professional groups, and when the time came for a promotion, she was the logical choice. Unfortunately, the project she inherited was in trouble. She knew it was in trouble. She had even been in the audits that had taken place before the previous project manager was relieved of his responsibilities. However, when she took over the project, she let business continue as usual. She was very sensitive to the desires of workforce, and she slowly started making changes for the better. If we had 30 months to produce a product, she might have made it with a harmonious workforce to boot. However, we had some immediate deadlines. The boat was sinking, pressure was terrific, and decisive management action was required. In the few months she was in charge, the pressure got to her. After one particularly exhausting set of meetings, she said to me privately, "I don't have to take all of this. I can go back to school and my husband will pay for it." She had a husband and several kids, and they constituted one of her distractions and one of her afflictions. She didn't need the job, and she didn't take the decisive action once would have taken had one seriously been dedicated to producing for her employer. It took 180 days for her to be relieved.
Did he count the days himself?
Yes. So basically he's saying...
Were they working days or the weekends?
I don't know. So he's saying that there was this woman, she was qualified, she got promoted, and then she failed.
And some of the reasons were that she's married and she has a husband and several kids.
And her husband is willing to pay for her.
Okay. I mean, this is not a quality article, obviously. It's a guy who shares his opinions.
It's 6 pages of real estate in a magazine that has 100 pages.
Yeah, what worries me most is the title, which is what I see: economy, speed, intelligence. And I don't see much intelligence in what's written here.
This is an ad next to the article.
It's an ad. Oh, right. Okay. It did give it more value.
That's his proof that women are not supposed to have the same jobs.
He shared the story to make us believe that what he says is true. I'm sure lots of people believed it back then.
But the point is, it's one story of a woman. Let's say that everything going.
We have multiple stories of women failing, of men failing, of women succeeding, men succeeding.
Exactly. So maybe the whole story is true. So one woman failed. How many men fail? And he says in the same article that the project was failing because the man before her was failing.
Which is a different topic that we should discuss at some point. The fact that many women CEOs have been hired in positions where companies have been failing already, and they hire them to try and fix it. But if it doesn't get better, then the whole blame, the whole negative image of the company remains with the woman who took the risk and the bet to make this better.
So basically, this is called the glass cliff. And it's the idea that when you have a job that is destined to fail, then you hire a woman. And when the thing that was inevitable to happens, you blame the woman.
So that's the thing?
It's called the glass cliff, yes.
Have we talked about this before?
I think we mentioned it in an episode.
We should talk about this more.
Yes, when we were talking about Elon Musk and Linda Yaccarino, I told you that Linda Yaccarino is an example of the glass cliff.
How can you remember these things? I'm so impressed. I'd like us to do an episode on glass cliff.
We can do it.
Just understand the term better, where it came from, how much evidence and facts we have, how does the industry feel about it, both men and women. I think it would be a really cool thing to talk about.
We can. I have a good example of a woman.
Let us know if you want to talk about this. I want to. I mean, let us know, but we will do it.
So finally, we arrive at the conclusion of this article, and he will give us his advice. Do you want to read this actually?
Yeah.
The yellow part.
Accentuate the positive. In many cases, I find women fail to exploit the skills they have. While sweeping generalities are always risky, I've usually found I've usually found the girls can write better than the guys can. Furthermore, so he gave something good despite them failing. Furthermore, the ability to think logically appears to be independent of leadership experience or early training. Consequently, many women are very competitive with the fellows in debugging. I love how he found a place where thinking is very crucial, debugging. But okay, cool. Now I'm not counseling a secondary role for you ladies, but your boss is more interested in getting the work done than he is in having his social consciousness raised. If you can do something well that he needs done badly, you get brownie points. Oh, thank you, darling. I do want some brownie points. Enough brownie points will make you a candidate next time there is an opportunity for promotion, or you request a job which will round out your experience profile. He's such a blessing. All this advice that nobody told me.
Advice.
He continues. We're not over. The computer field needs middle management badly. Qualified persons of either sex. Thanks for clarifying.
Middle management, by the way.
Yeah.
We are not getting the C-level.
No, but it says that the field needs middle management, which I accept.
Okay.
I agree. Badly. Qualified persons of either sex move up if they are well-rounded technically and thoroughly seasoned. I don't mean seasoned, some salt and pepper. I don't mean to imply that all bias is gone and that there are no chauvinists among us. A woman must still be outstanding to be considered equal to her male counterparts. Parenthesis. For her to be outstanding, he means she needs to hit like double standards for her to be equal with her counterparts. And he continues, but I think the first phase of the women's movement is passing, and the time has come for them to prepare technically and emotionally for promotion, to learn how the game is played, and then to make damn sure they're the most qualified before they think about raising too much hell. Oh my God, I hate him.
You really do, right?
Oh my God.
And
Wow.
you didn't even read. I read all of these 6 pages, and then I was like, why? Why did I read this?
How can you sleep after reading all of this?
No, I was very angry.
This is fascinating. It's fascinating. We knew it's like this. We knew, I mean, just to clarify for everybody listening, yes, we do talk, we do a lot of hating comments about sexist adverts and articles and all of that. But we do understand that this is the world, and this has been the journey the world has been in. We started from many decades ago when women didn't have the right to vote, they didn't have the right to make decisions or even to work. Then those things started changing. The women started getting rights, but the mindset takes a lot of time for it to change. So we're in
75.
We're in 1975, where this guy observes that, okay, things are getting better for women. We are recognizing our biases, and he means like a few companies, not everybody. But you can still see the hidden bias behind all the commentary.
Yeah.
The hidden bias of her being emotional, of not being technical enough, of needing to be above and beyond outstanding, to be equal with others. Like, yeah, it's the observation of the journey.
The previous ads or texts that were less politically correct. He's trying to be politically correct, but he's not.
But yeah, he doesn't know of his own bias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the last one I have from Datamation, okay? And basically this is from the late 70s, early 80s. And it's a computer ad that is kind of smaller now.
The computer is smaller.
Yes.
I see a lady. She's wearing a very short skirt. Good. She's allowed. She has quite a face. Like she's looking at you a bit, I don't know.
Sexy?
Yeah. I guess that's sexy. I don't know what it is. And it says, it doesn't take a computer to make a home. Your branch office operations can have some office computer efficiency with the new Tally Data Scribe key-to-tape communication and line printer system. Blah, blah, blah. Shall I read more?
No. My point is that why to sell a computer you need to have a woman in front of it?
Of course you need to have a woman. You need to put something sexy there, like show her legs off or show some of her tits or whatever. I don't know. That's how society creates advertisement.
And you know what? This is
naked sales.
This is late 70s, early 80s. And this is the last one I have from Datamation. Okay. And I thought, okay, maybe it got better. So I tried to find, like in the more recent years, what happened. And I have one here from the 90s.
My God,
and it's in Greek. Okay, this is from a Greek magazine.
I already see nude.
And this is Eleni Petroulaki, who was a very famous gymnast in the 90s.
That's why she's fit.
Yes.
So
and
not computer related.
No, she was a gymnast.
Okay.
And she's trying to sell this mainframe server computer.
The gymnast
is
advertising something technical.
Yes. And the tagline on top is size matters. Here it is.
Oh my God.
This is the 90s, mid-90s.
This is a Greek advertisement. A Greek advertisement of the 90s. And it says, size matters. Measure correctly your needs. And she's holding, she's in her bikini. She's holding a measure tape and it's fully open, like it's measuring from the ground to the top of the machine that they're advertising. And her face, she seems satisfied.
Oh my God.
I mean, did you see the face?
This was a woman that
She's satisfied. Look
she
at her.
had power.
Oh my
She
God.
wasn't like a random girl that she had power.
Yeah, but in the 90s, the power for women was more like translated into, oh, I can be on TV. That's the power, right? Oh, I'm going to play in an advert. That's good enough. It doesn't matter if the advert is all about sexist comments and sexual comments.
You know what other random thing there is in this ad that I don't understand? There is a computer screen here and it has a face in it. Why? A woman's face.
She's smiling and it's very zoomed in. It's like she's going to come out of the screen. Yeah,
But
it's very
why?
weird.
It's a computer screen. Why did that? That is
This is okay. I think this is one of the worst advertisements we saw today, and it's one of the worst, maybe the worst, considering when it came out in the 90s. Like I can understand the previous ones; they were less self-aware about their biases. But come on, in the 90s, we should be getting better already.
Then we go to the 21st century. Maybe we learn. Maybe we got better.
I hope so.
So I have this one. I will show it to you in a second. This one was printed. First time when it was printed, it was 2001, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And when it came out, it caused a controversy, okay? And people were complaining about this. And the company that printed this, they went out in 2001 and they apologized for this ad. Okay, I will give you the ad.
After how long?
No, people were complaining and they came out and they said, we're sorry. It wasn't our intent to insult women. I will give you this one now.
All right. Okay, I see a very close-up image of a woman's face.
With the red lips.
With the red lips.
Again.
But no emotion. I don't know how she's feeling. And here it says, she's serious.
By the way, this is a company that was selling, servers.
Servers?
Yes.
I don't even see a single server. Oh, I guess that is one server.
In the background. Blurry.
So it says, don't feel bad. Our servers won't go down on you either.
There is something there is a detail on this thing.
Oh my God.
I told you that this was used in 2001, okay, and they apologize. Check when this one I'm giving you was printed. It's on the bottom.
1999?
No. When the ad was printed, it's not very visible. It's here. It says 2007.
No.
So 6 years after they apologized, they were still printing this.
No, come on. Don't feel bad. Our servers won't go down on you either. It's smart.
It's smart,
but very bad. But very, very. It's tasteless.
Yes,
it's a tasteless joke that you can do with your mates, and up to that, like. Yes, you can do in a room, in the car, with your mates.
Don't use it to sell servers.
Don't use it for public advertisement. Dude.
So,
oh
yes.
my dear.
How do you feel now? We are done for now.
I'm glad I was born later. I was born in 88 when some of these adverts were out. But I'm glad we are now living in a time that things are getting better and much better than what
Are
we
they
see
getting
here.
better? Because now we are hearing, Mark Zuckerberg saying that companies need muscular energy.
Yeah.
We are canceling DEI.
I think there was an advertisement in Cyprus a couple of years ago that was quite sexist. I don't remember the story or the gossip. I will find it and bring it to another episode.
I mean, there are a lot of sexist out there. I just shown you the one that are related to computers only.
Yeah. I mean, things are better than a couple of decades ago.
Yeah,
we still have way to go. Like, I don't adopt what a few a certain group of people say that we did everything and everybody understand their biases and we're so good now. Now it's just a bubble. I don't think we are there yet. There is a bubble because there's still a need. And if the need gets met consistently, the bubble will break.
The biases now are harder to fix because they are more invisible, you know?
Yeah, yes.
So in the early days when it was very visible because you were doing the same job as a man and the man was getting like twice your salary, it was very visible
Right.
to fix this. But now it's subtle, it's more subtle, which means that it's much, much harder to fix.
Right. And we should talk about invisible biases at some point, because it's very easy to hide an invisible bias with a really good excuse.
Yes.
For example, if we take two middle layer managers and we need to promote one, and let's say it's a man and a woman, the characteristics of their leadership that will get one of them promoted will be the more muscular characteristics, being quite aggressive and direct and having a certain type of leadership style.
But the thing is, even if the woman has these characteristics, for the man, this is a quality. For the woman, she will be called, confrontational. She will be called aggressive. The man will be called decisive.
Yeah, yes. But also in this example, there are so many different leadership styles that do deliver results, but because they're not out there and very, very strong and muscular and to show off, because they're not like that, they seem as lesser than the stereotypical male leadership styles. And that's why men will show more trust. They will be trusted and they will have more confidence and get the position, where the women who are very comfortable in communicating when they're unsure, because they communicate their vulnerability, that makes them less trusted eventually, and in a very hidden way.
Yeah.
Like, we start thinking this way and we don't realize that this is a bias. Competency doesn't mean confidence. And that's something we talked the other day in the conference as well. We were in a conference, the Women in Business and Beyond, and we talked about these matters. And this is like an example of a hidden bias.
So this is our ads for today. I will put them in the description so that you can see them. If you have any examples that I missed that are really, strong, send it to us. We want to see it. And yes.
Can I do a mini correction there?
Yes.
You said, if you have any advertisements on biases that are really strong, send them over. This is another example of how we use language that portray male characteristics as better than female characteristics. Strong. Because men are the strongest, and that's a physical thing that stereotypically men are strongest. So just a comment, when we use the word strong to say evident, or to say, oh my God, this is such an obvious and very good example of a bias, but instead of communicating that way, we communicate this is strong, a strong case, we're actually inclining that it's more manly, it's better, it's stronger.
Because the biases, even if we don't want to be biased, they are still here in our minds, and it's not easy to remove them, even if you are consciously trying to remove them.
Yes, exactly.
This is the episode.
Thank you for preparing this, Elena.
Yes, before closing up, obviously we need to thank the people working for the podcast, Chrysanthi Dimitriou and Sofia Kafkalia that do the editing, Tasos Konstantinou that does, the graphics and organization.
Jack of all trades.
Konstantinos Psilidis that does the coordination. Andreas Filachtou, who is the producer of the show, and Black Lemon for hosting us here,
And Elena for preparing the story.
and Maria for not being very mad at me today.
With you, never, Elena. Never.
Are you going to apply to IBM?
I think we should. This is what we're going to do next. Stay tuned. You're going to hear if they accepted us or not.
Okay, thank you and bye.
See ya. Bye.